Views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect those of Vegas AllNet Radio, its affiliates, or its parent company.
Knowledge is power, and this is powerful stuff. Wellness Education Cannabis Advocates of Nevada present the We Can 702 Nevada Cannabis News Hour with the We Can radio team. For the next 60 minutes, we'll take an in-depth look at the cannabis reform revolution sweeping the nation. Now, let's fire up the news hour. Here is the We Can radio team.
Welcome back to Nevada Cannabis News. This is Kurt, and I'm in the studio here with Mark Saint from 420 for 702. You were listening to a little bit of our show from last week there with Evergreen Organics. Fortunately, we had a little technical difficulties and a little bit of a late start getting this show going this time. So, yeah, but we're on top of it now. So we have Mark here from, how you doing? From 420 for 702
magazine and .com. Just launched the .com a month ago, I think, and it's up and running. You can get your digital copy of the magazine on the .com. So it's basically a 420 for 702 is a 420 pocket guide that fits in your back pocket. So that way, when tourists come and we get recreational, God willing, and happening, then they can just go get their dispensary and their medicine right away, straight away, and where to get it. Well,
it's not only recreational. We still have the medical market, which is coming online now.
Yep, dispensaries.
Obviously, we want to push that too, not just the recreational end of it.
Sure. So. Well, no, I sponsor the dispensaries. I'm actually waiting for some sponsorship on the dispensary before we came in. I'm like, I want to launch it when we have two. I'm looking at Nevada Pure and Relief on Sahara and Paradise. So, you know, those guys are at key locations, especially on the Boulder Highway, as far as the city's concerned. So me getting them there, and where the other smoke shops and tattoo shops that I have that I distribute it only makes sense for them because there's so many, like, you know, Paradise Tattoos and all those other guys on Paradise and Sahara. There's two dispensaries right between Maryland and Paradise, and that's what, less than a mile apart?
Yeah. Well, then those are two of the
four
of the five that are open right now. Oasis is opening.
Apothecarium's opening next month.
Yeah, Oasis, I believe, is officially next week. I think they're still in their soft opening stage.
Okay.
So a lot of these places, they're doing soft openings first, so that they can kind of work the bugs out before they...
Is that why the phones aren't answering?
I'm not sure. I mean, I say...
I called a couple of the places, and, you know, I'm like just anyone else that wants to look, you can go online. The website's up, but the phone numbers aren't, so you got to be careful. Like, we're all filling it out. Every one of the patients and medical users are filling it out.
Yeah, on the Department of Health and Behavioral Services, they actually have a list of the current dispensaries that are open. It's not very current, though. It only has 4. It doesn't have Nevada Pure on it. It doesn't have Oasis on it yet.
So then I said 6. 6 out of 18?
Yeah, the 6. Well, no, there's actually, I believe, 48 that are opening in Clark County. Because there was originally 40, and they added 8 more to solve the state 8, county 8 deal that they had. So yeah, and they didn't release any more this year. But they are talking next year that they may release some more licenses. Yeah,
okay.
Because the application date for this year's licenses would have been in November.
Yeah, but they would have already applied by then, right? So we're waiting for those guys that got approved. Those 8 out of the 16 can open before January. Or
no, they're all available to open as soon as they get all their county and permitting and all that done,
supply.
and they get the supply. Yeah, well,
and harvest.
Well, we do have
inventory.
Down here in southern Nevada, I know of 4 different grows that are online.
Okay.
We have Advanced. We have Green Life Productions out of Pahrump. A new one that just opened out here. I haven't got a whole lot of information on, called Deep Roots. Deep Roots is selling to Inyo Fine already. They have they had a new strain come out called Grape Stomper, which is identical to sour grapes, and they were running a special on that at Inyo this Sunday for 20% off.
How much?
So, and
were we talking about, like, is this a grape varietal of some sort, like hybrid?
It's the same as sour grapes.
Okay.
Is what it is.
So it's like a sour diesel,
yeah,
purple hybrid mix, and then what do we talk, like 33%, like your stuff, like your amazing 34.3%, folks.
No, I didn't get all the things on the specs on that one.
Okay.
It was just released. They just got it in last week, and as I say, it's a new grow. And then, of course, the only other grow we have down here right now that I know of that's producing is coming out of Nevada Pure, and Nevada Pure They grow their own medicine there.
Nice.
They have their own production facility. They're going to be starting to put out their own edibles and everything here. They're waiting on one part for one of their machines, and then they'll be all signed off, and they'll be ready to start making the concert. They're going to be making the clears also.
Oh my God.
The clear dabs, which, you know, if you ever had them, they're the best there are. You know, that's what they're going to be making over there. Right. And they have the dispensary right there. So it is a truly
back to back.
Yeah, a true vertical integration, which is kind of, you know, what the state really wanted. It's really kind of amazing that everything's in that one building.
I want to take a tour.
I don't know if they're doing tours.
No?
I know you can do tours of the dispensary.
Right.
Now trying to get into productions and that you have to schedule appointments. Yeah, exactly.
Disinfected rooms, and since they're cooking, obviously, you need a health card.
Yeah, they are allowed to bring people through for tours, but any of these facilities, to get into those spaces, you have to know someone. You have to call. You have to set up an appointment. You have to schedule it. You got to schedule an appointment with them, because it ain't like you can just walk in the door and they're just like, hey, come on in and check out our grow.
My clients, I'm just going to rub past them and clip. Go, bye.
So, but yeah, the Nevada Pure is a humongous facility, just huge. The size of their grow is just. It's almost mind baffling when you see it. I got to go in there before there were plants in the facility.
I saw you guys post those photos. It's a two-story building.
I actually went over there and helped them do some demo and pull some stuff out and stuff and that.
I saw those pictures.
Kind of saw it up until the licenses were there, and then it was the point where when the licenses come in, it's like nobody can come in here unless you're an employee.
45,000 square feet with like 18-foot vaulted ceilings, and it's just concrete on the ground, ready to grow anything. Right?
Yeah, and I saw
that photo.
Water
you
tanks,
the scissor lift out there, and you guys were cleaning it all up.
Yeah,
I remember,
So that's the
it's big enough for a scissor lift, folks.
The closest I've come to any of these commercial grows is being inside of them before they were open. I still would love to get into one when they're open.
Me too.
You know, just to see how they're doing. Maybe you know.
The apothecarium is supposed to have 43,000 square feet. And for most people that don't know that, like I don't even know if people, your listeners know, like you don't even, like they have to have that supply grown inside Nevada. And we've been waiting patiently for that crop to harvest, because you can't get Colorado weed and you can't get California weed. It has to be Nevada homegrown. And that's also for those other THC products, because, you know, I'm working with like Corrupt Moon Rocks and the Kush Cake Pops and all those guys. They want to sell their products here because they're doing so great in Cali, and it's only 4 hours away, but that's not.
So what they need to do is they need to find a production facility and work with a production and cultivation and sign a deal with them as in merchandising. So basically that production will produce their product and sell their product.
And that's what I've been talking to them about, especially with Corrupt Moon Rocks. No offense, it does take a genius to get high-grade marijuana, infuse it with the hash, I mean the high-power oil, then roll it around in the keef. And I'm saying, what keeps these dispensaries from doing it themselves? Like, they're cooking, like they can make cookies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, they're gonna make cookies, right? Nevada Pure is gonna make their own.
Yeah, they're gonna make edibles, but a lot of the production facilities are teaming with these other things, because what they have is the name recognition already. They have the brand.
Right.
So when you're production facility and you're putting out a product and you want it on a shelf, you want it to be a recognizable brand that people are going to come in and ask for. They're going to say, hey, I recognize this. I've seen it before.
Corrupt Moon Rocks is branding.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I mean, I've had this conversation with them for 424/702 magazine. I'm like, when you guys get in here, maybe you're not selling your product, but by you advertising ahead of the time, when the patients do go in, they're going to ask for Moon Rocks specifically. They're not going to ask for Inyo Rocks. They're asking for Moon Rocks because of the marketing. You know what I mean? Same like Tommy Hilfiger or Nike. There's not real difference between Nike and Adidas, but it's advertising, and it's the market that you come into and let people know, hey, I want this certain type of products. You know, I saw, like, when we were at, you didn't go to that party, this last Trip Wars party, did you?
No, we were out of town for that. We sent representatives from Dabber Dennis was down there for us, representing We Can and the Nature's Kindness, and we also gave our entries to him also, because I was gifted some free entries because of the things that we do and our relationships with the people putting on the Trip Wars.
I know he donates too.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I didn't have anything to enter because you
weren't there.
I just cropped, and my stuff's not going to be ready for another month. So, and I wasn't even going to be able to be there. So I gave our entries to Dennis. I'm still waiting to hear from him
to
see how we did.
You're not Critical Kush, are you?
Huh?
That's his critical kush.
That's his critical kush. I just grew that. I just grew that.
33% THC.
The one that we had tested at the Halloween party was just happened to be one that I grew from his mother.
Ah, okay. So he had 34, you had 33 kind of thing.
I had
and that should
34.
have-
I had 34.3. I don't know what his tested at this time.
This was 34.3
Yeah.
too because
Well-
it was written on the top. That's why I was wondering if that was your entry or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't have an entry on that one
Okay.
because, as I say, I just
Great
wasn't ready.
weed.
Yeah, and you know, the Critical Kush is known for high THC.
Okay.
That one is one that I like specifically because it really works good for
Right.
my back spasms.
Sure,
and,
but
and,
I
you
mean,
know,
but you weren't there. But they were actually giving out a 5% CBD, 2% THC dab that was actually really for just the health pain benefits. And then that's why I was going to tell you that they had the medical eye drops. That's what I was going to ask you if anybody. I don't know if your viewers have ever tried it, but they were literally like eye drops, but medicated, and it did clean me up and my sinuses. And I was having a tough time with sinuses.
I haven't tried them. There's so many different new things out there and
know.
ways to try it. and
I want
everything.
them. Smoke and review. I own smokeandreview.com now. So I'm going to put that up and I'm going to smoke and review these products. I've been doing that with like Da Vinci Vaporizer. They're here, local company. We're doing their little handheld device, and I just keep putting them into the 420 for 702 and just, film it. And if anybody else has a product out there or, and we're looking for 420 friendly restaurants too. You know what I mean? I'm looking to feature those places in the smokeandreview.com. So we'll smoke and then eat and then smoke and be merry, and we'll review it.
Yeah,
That's how it works.
There's a few of those places around town. I know, like especially when it comes to some of the bars and the music venues. A lot of those are
Right.
don't ask, don't tell, but keep it outside on the patio. Don't bring it in.
Can we have this conversation for a guy that's been knocking on all their doors, and that's why I said 420 friendly, because I've literally been hung up on and like door slammed in my face, even by the strip clubs. There's girls with their vajayjay out right out in front of you at Little Darling's fully nude. That's someone's daughter, and you're telling me about marijuana stuff. I was shocked. I mean, the send-in was rocking, and then they had a problem with it. And I know some of them don't want to have people lighting up. They have a lot of California users coming, and they have the medical marijuana card, but they feel that they have the rights, and they're like, we're not going to exhibit those rights till the rights are in full effect. And they keep, I don't know, it's like a don't ask, don't tell policy. It's really weird. It's like, come out of the cannabis closet.
Yeah, that's
They're
well,
users, and they are your users.
And a lot of it is because they have alcohol licenses, they have gaming licensing.
True.
We ran into the same problem when we tried to host an event last 420. We did a countdown to 420, and we did it at the we did it at the Las Vegas Country Saloon on Fremont Street.
Okay.
And it at the end of all of our planning, everything kind of collapsed because of their liquor
Fear.
license and because of their gaming license. Metro came in and told them, if we find anything on the premises, we're going to pull all your licensing.
And they
And
can't risk it.
basically, they got strong armed into turning their backs on their own beliefs because they told us straight up that they don't have a problem with it. And when we were first booking the event, they said, hey, listen, you're booking it. It's a private event. We don't care. And all of that kind of changed and got kind of clustered up at the end.
Fear.
And,
that happened to my party too, 2 days before they canceled it. And it was just another fear thing. And he could look me in the eyes, and I knew what was happening. He got scared. People get scared. They think that a helicopter is going to come down and the cops have time for this. And I just don't see.
Well, the cops have been saying, throughout the whole legislative thing, I've heard this, that they don't want social clubs. They don't want them, which we feel they're very important to have. Say you come out here from California.
This is our religious belief.
So you come out here from California and you need your medicine. I was just in California, and the room I was in strictly said no smoking. And when I checked in, she made sure to say no smoking of cannabis either.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But they were very, very lax about it. As long as you were outside of the room, they didn't care.
Right.
But here it's a little different. Say you're from California, you come here, you get a room, you can't smoke in it. Where are you supposed to medicate?
But see, I'm on that level where I'm trying to get the same rights as cigarette smokers. We have designated areas and even used to smoke in airplanes. I'm not asking to smoke on an airplane of any sort, any kind of fire devices. But what I'm saying is there's designated areas already with rights in tobacco that we already know about. So it's like, why don't we have that designated area?
Why?
You wouldn't take a cigarette and smoke it in front of a baby and not in that area, and neither would I.
Yeah. Why can't I use my medicine anywhere that they can smoke
These other places, medicines
smoke tobacco at?
Yeah.
Because to me, I find tobacco
medicines.
Smoke extremely offensive.
Right.
I can't stand it. It irritates my asthma.
Right.
It gives me headaches. It makes me hard to breathe.
Fair, but even here in Nevada, they had the law and they switched it, and any place that was serving food had to separate a separation from tobacco and food, and we were fine with that. They adapted. There was a lot of grumbling.
Well, there was a lot of grumbling, and they actually
had to make they
actually also made some changes to that you can serve food and have smoking as long as there's no one under 21 allowed in the premises.
And we want 21 and above for recreational. So it's all an adult sport. It's all fair and games, between the hash lines. If you're at the bar and you're smoking next to me, why can't I smoke my joint with you and the guy next to me drink his beer? We all have our own efficient, don't tell me what to do, I won't tell you what to do with your stuff.
Yeah, we're not hurting anybody. So
right.
That's kind of the way it was in Europe. I go into I did the whole European tour back in 1990, helped tear down the wall, went and saw a bunch of dead shows.
Nice.
But at the bars, like I went to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
I hated it. Hated it. It was dirty. It was stinky.
I've heard that before too.
It was scuzzy. It was, unless you're going there for the prostitutes, there's really nothing that you couldn't get anywhere else.
Another 21
in Europe.
and above sin. Prostitution here.
Yeah. So unless you're going there for the red light district, you can go anywhere. You can go anywhere in Holland and get the exact same thing you get in Amsterdam without all the dirt and without all the stink and without
There's Christiania where there's just a little community within itself where the whole attitude towards is like the cops don't affect that community. Inside that community, they make their own products, and you can just walk up and down Pusher Street and get any sort of real refined kind of, and they could just they blind eye to it, but like not like full on. This is a big problem, and it seems to work. They have their own society within the city and their own city limit.
Yeah, and if in Amsterdam, one other thing is, if you go to a bar, you can't smoke cannabis. That's why they have the coffee shops.
They have a
coffee shop.
Can you smoke cigarettes though in the bar?
Yeah.
Okay, so the attitude's different.
So, but that's the rules in Amsterdam.
Okay.
You go Spain, outside of Amsterdam.
Lisbon.
You go to Rotterdam, which is a half an hour west of Amsterdam, and you go to the bar, and you can light up all you want. And matter of fact, you can buy it at the bar because there's always a guy at the end of the bar that the bartender will say, "Go see him," and he's got the same thing that they have at the dens.
See, I have this argument with the hotels, and I go in there and well, right now someone is having sex, doing drugs, all the things that we're talking about in your facility, and you're buying a bad eye to it, and it's like this happens. These are social things that are happening at all times. So what you're telling me is if I go to Vegas, there won't be someone at the bar going, "Go talk to that prostitute right down there, and she'll hook you up." Guarantee that's happening right now. Yeah. Guaranteed.
And they'll claim that the smell in the room. Well, cannabis smoke does not stick into the room like smoke does. Cigarette smoke.
I'll argue that all day long. I thought you were going to go long like it won't smell at all, and I'm like, I can't argue with you with that. But you bomb out a room with let's just say we were just having a session, and then you bomb out a room with just straight cigarette smokers. The leaning cigarette smoke will always prevail, and me and you know that because we worked in the car industry. For years, me and him known each other like 10, 15 years ago, working in the car industry, and it was just like you hop in a cigarette smell car, you smell that. That's a fact. And you
hop into one where they've been smoking, and usually
then you take a roach.
No. Usually it just smells like way too much cologne because they spray cologne all over their car trying to get rid of the ganja smell. So when you walk up and you smell that cologne, you know it's a smoker.
There's your argument answered is that you can't cover up the weed smell, but you can't cover up cigarette smell. Fact. If people try to bomb their cars before they resell it to get higher resale value for that tobacco smell, you can't kill it, bro. It'll be tarred up on the ceilings and people that smoke in their houses, they'll be on the paint on the wall.
It changes the white to yellow. I mean, I've never seen cannabis smoke do that.
Legal. But it's legal.
And it's only
18 and above. Yeah. Not even 21 and above. So we're looking for 21, and I've had this argument too where people were having I wanted it to be at 18, and I'm like one battle at a time. But right now as our city runs, we're 21 and above. And when I was under 18, I grew up here. That's the way it goes. I mean let's just tackle one thing at a time, but let's keep it still 100 at the top 5. We still got our gambling, alcohol, what else am I missing here? Prostitution. You can go into a strip club. Why can't I have my weed?
And you can go into a strip club, I believe, at 8.
That's because that's the nudist ones.
If they don't serve alcohol, you can go into the fully nude at 18. But if you want to.
I just don't get the attitude towards it when you're in the Sinden and you're pushing someone else's daughter up on stage, live on stage, it's cinnamon, and you're just like, really? Well, it's weed too,
Yeah, and then the advertising. I mean, you can't drive down the freeway without seeing strip club signs anywhere. But for some reason, the county doesn't like that Dr. Reefer sign on the freeway.
Saying the worst things too. Lee's Discount Liquor keeps saying the worst things too. He's allowed to say whatever he wants. Mr. Lee,
get them drunk and take advantage of them.
Right. Yeah, Yeah, or three tequila floor, and we're like, you're really gonna put people in vehicles, and they just it's that blind eye. It gets turned every time. It's just 2 beers. It's just Mr. Lee's discount liquor. No, dude, this is a place. If we look at it with the right eyes, that's serving an actual drug. It's a form of a liquid just glowing, and they're great at advertising. Sitting there on the shelf. If it was sitting there like a pile of cocaine, the cops would be there. But since we're so used to it, right? If there was a syringe and a pile of blow sitting there, if we just looked at it real quick and looked at it just like the drug that it is, you'd be like, wow, we just come here, stare at the wall, and consume drugs. Seriously, that's the difference between a Chinese opium den. You're just going in there, there's your sin den, you're doing your drug of choice.
And make really bad choices because alcohol affects your ability to make good choices.
Can I tell you about 01 when I did get my first DUI and last? And the guy, we had to take the class, and what he taught me was very simple. He said, you can drink because that's the law, but make the decision before you drink, because this drug right here impairs you. Even after 1 or 2, you're gone and you can't make that decision anymore. So as a grown adult, when you drove up there, throw the keys to him. You know who's driving home. If you're the only ride home while you're sober before your first drink, guess what? Stop driving, throw the keys. And that was it. And then he said, drink all you want. And that was in an actual DUI class in 01. I'm not lying to you. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense, because this drug is so impaired to our cerebral decisions that it's gone. Once you even took a sip, you've already made the decision. So make a pimp decision before you drink. We'll still let you drink. But just don't pretend like oh, man, I only had 2 and I thought I could make it. And I tried drinking some water and sobering up. All that's gone. All that's gone. It's off the table. And you got to make a decision before you do it. And that's a legal drug.
And we're going to take a break right now, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
You're listening to the Nevada Cannabis News Hour, produced by WeCan, the Wellness Education Cannabis Advocates of Nevada. WeCan is a 501c3 nonprofit. If you're interested in sponsoring us, donating, or advertising on this radio show, please contact our advertising department at 702-218-5226 or Kurt, K-U-R-T, at wecan702.org.
WeCan 702 is a Nevada cannabis community. We are a 501c3 nonprofit that meets in Southern Nevada. We are a social group that started in Las Vegas for patient support. We've been active in the community for over 5 years. If you'd like to join us on any of our events or parties, please contact us through Facebook at WeCan 702, on Meetup at www.meetup.com/WeCan 702. Our website is www.wecan702.org. Be a part of the Nevada Cannabis Reform Revolution. Please join us and donate today.
Hi there, this is Sammy Hagar here for RAD, the entertainment industry's voice for road safety. Now, style's a personal thing, and your lifestyle is your business. But if you take it on the road, it becomes everybody else's business. Please plan ahead, designate before you celebrate, because friends do not let friends drive drunk.
A public service message brought to you by RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council. You're listening to the WeCan 702 Nevada Cannabis News Hour. Now, here again, the WeCan radio team.
Welcome back to the Nevada Cannabis News Hour. I'm Kurt, and I'm in the studio here with Mark Saint. So,
What's up, brother?
We've just been talking about the hypocrisy between
Preaching.
of the differences of alcohol and cannabis, and we all know that story. So
Sorry. Not sorry.
so anyway, let's get into a little news. I got a story here. This was reported by the Weed Blog this morning. Cops took more from citizens than burglars did last year via asset forfeiture. Wow. That's all I can say to that. It's like
Protect and serve.
Who's the biggest criminal in the nation?
Protect and serve.
I mean,
serve and maybe protect.
I mean, we're talking more stuff taken than all the burglaries put together in the nation last year. The police took more than that from people who hadn't even been convicted yet. You don't even have to be
Oh
convicted
my
for,
God.
for forfeiture.
Right.
It's like, hey, we think you were doing this. We're taking your stuff.
I have 2 words for that. Privatized prisons.
Yep, exactly.
Privatized prisons. That
And-
keeps the prison inflated. You know what I mean? You get like a basic charge for like not even armed robbery, but basic breaking and entering. It's a 5-year, 7-year sentence, and I get $200 a day per day per head.
Yeah.
If I keep you there. Not to mention that the cops took the rest.
Yeah, well, and then it also funds all their stuff. What do you think they buy all these fancy toys to play with and all that?
Hey, did you see that YouTube video that's gone around where the cops broke into the dispensary? I think it was a California one, and then they still didn't get all the cameras, and they were eating the actual edibles, and they were messing
talked
around
about
playing
kicking the
darts.
disabled manager in the nub.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So, according to this one here, though, according to a new report on asset forfeiture from the Institute for Justice, police seized $4.5 billion dollars
boys.
in cash and property through civil forfeiture last year. That exceeds the $3.9 billion worth of property stolen in burglaries during the same period.
Oh my God.
So,
And you're never going to see that money.
yeah.
There's no reverse recourse against the government. It's like if they take it, we assume you did something bad, and that's it. There's no like re-forfeiture of your items. You know, I've heard some people try to fight back and go, "You broke my dispensary. I had this much amount of product," and win, but.
Well, there is a chance of it. Like here, they're citing a case about someone named Clark, a 24-year-old college student who was relieved of $11,000 in cash by federal agents at at the Cincinnati North Kentucky International Airport after a ticket agent reportedly told him he smelled like marijuana.
That's it.
They stopped and searched him, found no drugs or other banned
There it
items,
is.
and never even charged him with a crime.
There it
But
is.
they took his money.
Exactly, and they're going to assume that money. I've been there, and they'll assume that money is drug money and put it all lumped in together. Now your forfeiture. Now the stat I want to hear is what's the odds of him getting his 11 grand back versus him finding the bike that the guy stole in front of his house?
And well, they say he may get his
What's
money
the
back.
over-under? What's the over and
he
under?
may get his money back, but it's an uphill battle. Unlike criminal law, where prosecutors must prove the guilt of the defendant,
Right.
under civil asset forfeiture law, the burden of proof falls on
Guilty
the
till
person
proven innocent.
whom the money was seized from.
Right. Not
know-
innocent till proven guilty. Guilty till proven innocent, and then they're innocent till you prove them guilty. Such a backwards
And this story kind of leads in. Hey, this is why I've always wanted to come up with a cologne that smelled like cannabis.
And test it.
Chronic by Calvin Klein. So when they say you smell like cannabis, you can pull out your bottle and go, "It's Chronic by Calvin Klein." So-
I see a commercial already.
Even just to have that
Yeah.
bottle, somebody
Yeah.
says that.
Bye-bye,
Hey,
Stetson
guess
man.
what? I just blew
Here
away
comes
your whole
marijuana
reason of you
Marlboro
smelling.
here.
Yeah. So yeah.
Do it.
This is sickening. This is one of these laws that we really need to get rid of. This civil ass, this forfeiture.
I think we just need cops to check cops, man. I mean, it would be simple as another investigation. You have a spin-off area when we go from some other governmental system where you file a grievance, and then it's their job to go attack them instead of your daily job where you got an 8 to 5, 9 to 5, and you can't really take time off to go hunt this down. But 11 grand, I mean...
How do you fight this case? I didn't smell like cannabis.
I
I
don't have
didn't
11 grand
have
to fight
anything
it.
on me. And what are you going to go into court say? They found nothing on me.
Right.
How do I prove what I smelled like?
And that's a big problem. How did they take seizure of it with this circumstantial evidence? That's, I think, what we're really getting into. And it's just like, it's enough to miss the bus because you could be around somebody and not be high. I got friends that come hotbox with us and they don't get high. They'll just pass. They just want to hang out. They want to be in the circle. They don't want to be left out. And if we came up to a place and they got stopped from coming in because we all smelled like it, there we are.
And I get it all the time. I mean, I get it when I go into the office sometimes.
Guilty by association.
No, just like I haven't even been medicating. I haven't even been around the medicine in a couple of hours, and I walk in and like one of the people stick their head in my door and they're like, "You smell like cannabis. You smell like weed," and I'd be like.
Right.
Oh, I have no idea why. I haven't medicated in hours. I haven't been around a
Right.
plant in hours,
Right. Absolutely.
but
And I'm desensitized to it too. I bet I smell dank, but I just don't ever smell it like that. And I've never actually ever had anybody stop me from it either. They were just like, I think it should be, again, that attitude towards it. It'd be the same with me going like, I think you're drunk right now.
Yeah, and we've been running into problems. I have
You drunk right now?
we have some good friends out in Pahrump. The hash man out there.
Yep,
He
yep.
just ran into it with his kid. They called him up and said your kid smells like cannabis.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No. I did not hear that.
So he had to go in. He had to go into the school and say, "What? What the heck?"
Right.
He brought him home, showered him, changed him, brought him back. I said, "I hope this is good enough." But I don't know what your problem is. It's not like the kid's using cannabis.
Well, we can't lie no more. The medicine exists. It has a certain smell. All plants have smells. It's a flower. I smoke flowers.
It's a beautiful
You drink
flower.
whatever. It's a very giving flower, and it's God's plant, man. And here it's going to be on the earth before we got here. What are we going to do? Make pretend like it doesn't exist no more? No. That's it. I mean, it's here, and it's here to stay. It's like get aware.
It's supposed to smell, and it's supposed to smell good.
Right.
I mean, it is a flower. I mean, I know some people don't like the smell of it.
Right.
I, for one, I enjoy it.
I don't like my grandma's potpourri in her bathroom, but you don't hear me complaining.
It's the terpenes, it's part of the whole thing. So
and it's the best beautiful part of it. I mean, most people, like you were saying, I've heard that cologne thing so many times, bro. It's a great smell. My ex, she didn't like smoke it at all. Nurse. She was a nurse, and then I would blow right in her face, and she loved the smell. She wanted me to specifically not waste and blow away from her, but blow shotgun kisses, right?
Yeah. Well, in certain situations, like if I'm going out to a concert or this and that, I actually will wear it like cologne. I'll go in. I'll go into my room and I'll rub the stalks with my fingers, and then I'll put it up here on my neck and all that. So I do smell like it. When the girls give me a hug, they're like, "Oh my God, I love you."
Right. Like an extra long hug. That's the squeeze.
So yeah, I actually do it sometimes when it's appropriate, when I'm going out, for more of a socializing event, or like say I'm going to go work a weekend at Champs or one of these other industry things.
They're calling for their control, bro, and they have no more control over it.
I'll actually take a little bit of bud and put it here in this pocket so that I smell like it there because I want that smell attracts the people at those events.
I want people to just change their attitude so we're not in high school anymore and we don't pretend like you smell bad. Don't be afraid, I shouldn't be afraid of anything.
No.
Yeah. Especially with the kid. He smelled like it, but he didn't have any on him. What's your real gripe?
Yeah.
I got BO people that smell bad on the airplane. Can we kick them out too?
Oh yeah.
I mean, how much rights do we have over other treatment? We don't have no control.
How about that person eating that stinky food next to you?
Me.
You know what I mean? It's like I've had some people pull out some meals that I'm just like, oh my God.
Right. And then there's that cigarette smoker who doesn't want control over him either. So
even if they're
even
if they're not smoking, they still stink.
Right. I don't even like smelling those people.
Some of these cigarette smokers, I can't get 5 feet from them.
No offense, but it's offensive.
It's like, it is. But anyway, we're getting close on time, so we want to make sure to let you know about our sponsors. We got Nevada Pure over on Boulder Highway. Right now, they are running a special. Nice. Get this. $230 an ounce for Master Bubba.
Almost street level. There
exactly.
That's
all these people that were
complaining anymore.
All these people that were complaining we're going to be priced out. We only have 5 open right now, and we're already got $230.
And it's
ounces.
Labeled, and it's safe, and
it's tested.
Yep, and it's tested, so you can go get it like over the counter, like I wanted aspirin. Same price.
And then also
better for headaches.
Also, and you'll find Cannabis Dispensaries, one of our sponsors. Also, they are doing a $5 grams when you purchase 7 grams of another one. They have
just cut it in half.
Yeah, they have their 9-pound hammer and their plant and their new grape stomper out there on that.
I've heard 9-pound hammer. I had their 9-pound hammer. It's fantastic. And Inyo, holler at your boy Marky Saint. I want you at 420for702.com magazine. I want dispensaries in there. Any viewers that know of any 420 friendly activities, restaurants, or dispensaries, 420for702.com.
And one more thing, Euphoria Wellness has now got high CBD juju joints in. So if anybody is out there looking for some CBD medicine, it is starting to hit the shelves. So we're right there. So
I want to thank Kurt. Jen's not here right now, but Kurt, you've been my friend for a long time, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to be on here and doing what you do, because it's not easy. These guys are at every first Friday. They set up events almost monthly, and that kind of effort needs to be applauded. So I thank you.
I mean, we do it for the community. So
so it's all about the patience with you guys.
Right.
So I appreciate that too.
So that about wraps us up for today's show. Thank you for listening, and tune in next week for Nevada Cannabis News.
Bye, guys.